Good morning, everyone. I'm here now in front of you to discuss my topic about the Gilgamesh of Babylonians. Gilgamesh of Babylonians is the second oldest religious text after the pyramid text, and also Gilgamesh of Babylonians is an epic poem originated to the land of Mesopotamia, and it is written by Sinlikwi Unnini, the author, or the one who wrote this epic poem. So, when it is date written is almost 2100 before Christ or BC, and the country originated just like what I've mentioned before, that it is originated to the country of Mesopotamia. Original language used Akkadian, also spelled Akkadian, also called Asho-Babylonian, a distinct semantic language of the northern peripheral group. And okay, let's moving on. The literacy history of Gilgamesh begins with the 5 Sumerian poems about Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, dating from the 3rd dynasty of Uruk. In addition, these are the 5 Sumerian poems are known from the tablets that were written during the first half of the 2nd millennium BCE. So the poems have been titled Gilgamesh and Huwawa, Gilgamesh and the Bull of Heaven, Gilgamesh and Aga, and of course, of Kis and Gilgamesh, ENKIDU in the netherworld and the death. So Gilgamesh is the mythic king of Uruk in Mesopotamia, best known from the Epic of Gilgamesh. So the great Sumerian Babylonian poetic work which predates Homer's writing by 1,500 years, and therefore stands as the oldest piece of epic world literature. And let's find out what are those interesting facts about Gilgamesh. First is that we have Gilgamesh ruled for 126 years. Think about that. How have been Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, ruled? It almost 126 years. Second one is that Gilgamesh built the amazing walls of Uruk. And the third one, Gilgamesh is known the rule in the 20th or 26th century. Gilgamesh is said in one book called the Book of Giants. He and Humbaba are both giants. So Sargon of Akkad broke the walls of Uruk to prove his power, that Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, is more than strong than the persons around the palace or around in their place. So let's find out who are those characters in this epic poem. First is we have ENKIDU. Who is ENKIDU? What is the role of ENKIDU to the Gilgamesh of Babylonians? Begins his literary life and Gilgamesh faithful sidekick. And as what I have researched before about ENKIDU, about those characters that we have, as identical with the deity ENKIDU, or meaning Lord of the Grid, or Enki has created in the Epic of Gilgamesh. ENKIDU is a wild man created by the god Anu. After Gilgamesh defeats him, the two become friends. Next is UTNAPISHTIM. We have UTNAPISHTIM. Who is UTNAPISHTIM? Was the only man to escape the death since having preserved human and animal life in the great boat he built. He and his wife were defied by God and Enlil. What does it mean? What does it mean, the word defied? They worship God, the name God Enlil. And UTNAPISM, the connection to that, it is a little bit like the life history of Noah's experience before. It is written to the Bible, in the Bible. So next is that we have HUMBABA. Who is HUMBABA? Was a guardian of a cedar forest where the gods live by the will of the god Enlil, who assigned HUMBABA as the terror of human beings. Next is Shamhat. Who is Shamhat? Was a sacred temple prostitute who plays a significant role in bringing a wild man in ENKIDU into contact with civilization. So what does it mean? What does it mean, the word civilization? It is the progress or the development that they want to implement to their palace. Next is ISHTAR. Who is ISHTAR? The goddess of war and love. And we have also Gulalanya, the first husband of Ereshkigal, the queen of underground, and Shamash as the solar deity exercised the power of light over darkness and evil. He is a good justice and equity. He is the god of justice and equity. And we have also Dumuzi. Dumuzi was associated with fertility and vegetation and the hot summers of Mesopotamia. When we say associated with the fertility and vegetation, she is the predecessor, a person who held a job or office. Fertility is the quality of being able to produce a children. So she is one of the sacred prostitute in the palace, where they produce children. And Gilgamesh, and of course, last but not the least, one of the main character in the epic poem of the Gilgamesh Babylonians, none other than Gilgamesh. Who is Gilgamesh? Is the hero, the king of Europe. Gilgamesh and ENKIDU are also known as the two main characters in the epic poem. So the Gilgamesh of the poems and of the epic tablets was probably the Gilgamesh who ruled at Uruk in southern Mesopotamia. So Uruk, it is the place where the king Gilgamesh exercise his power. Gilgamesh friendship to ENKIDU. I decided to include here the Gilgamesh friendship to ENKIDU because their friendship, they built a strong friendship where they went both to the cedar forest just to fight and kill HUMBABA, or the guardian of cedar forest, because king of Uruk, Gilgamesh, he want to fulfill his feeling to know what is the real meaning of life, the real meaning of eternal life. So the main theme of this report or of this epic poem is that the epic of Gilgamesh is what wisdom and kindness are superior attainments to immorality, or what is the meaning of life. Death is an inevitable and inescapable fact of human life, which is the greatest lesson Gilgamesh learned. And of course, I would like also to share with you the importance of the story of Gilgamesh. So was given knowledge of how to worship the gods, why death was obtained for human beings, what makes a god king, and how to live a good life. And also, after all, King Gilgamesh realized that every human creatures died, and it is the greatest lesson that the king of Uruk, Gilgamesh, learned when he is in the midst of searching the true meaning of life. That could be all. Thank you and God bless. Stay safe.